Hello and welcome to Meet the Author. I'm your anchor, Dr. Jacque Eaves, and today I would like to showcase another featured author. Today's author is Miss Shellinda Miller. Shellinda is a 30-year Navy veteran and the founder and CEO of Inspiire Leadership. She is also a John Maxwell speaker, trainer, and coach. Today, Shellinda is going to share with us a little bit more about her book entitled Own Your Story. Take off the mask and be your authentic self. Welcome to Meet the Author, Shellinda. Please share with us the inspiration behind your book.
I was inspired to write this book actually by God. I was recovering from major back surgery in the early part of 2019. And God just kept showing me the word story, story, story. And I didn't know what that meant. But after much prayer and waiting, God showed me that I needed to write a book. He did this by showing me the word author right after he showed me the word story. And he showed me the word story maybe 8 different times, and then the word author 3 times. And I never had a goal. You know, many authors have a goal and they have plans to write a book. That wasn't one of my goals or one of my dreams, but I am so glad that God allowed me to release this story. At any rate, I knew that I needed to write a book after God showed me that. And in that careful consideration and the time I had alone to really think about what it is I needed to do or what it is I needed to write about, I knew that it had to have something to do with the word story. And from that, I began just thinking about what would my story do for other people. And I just began to get inspired by the people that I have encountered throughout my life. And in particularly, the 30 years that I was in the Navy, I have met and worked and served with so many different men and women from all walks of life. And as God just kept allowing me to recall those moments, I realized that everyone has a story. And that's how I got the title. So I was actually inspired by true life events that had happened to me and things that had occurred to me, and making me realize that I too have a story, but it's up to me to own the story. And that's what I wanted to encourage everyone to do.
Shellinda, I want to thank you for sharing your story as well as the stories of others that you have carefully intertwined throughout the book. Can you share with us why this book is important to your targeted audience?
It was important to me to write this story because I believe that we all have worn masks at one point in our lives or another. And we've worn them for multiple reasons. Sometimes some of the reasons could be for fear, shame, pride, guilt, even negativity has caused us to wear a mask some of the time. But whatever the reason is, we're usually wearing a mask to cover up something that we're going through, something that we are experiencing in our lives. It's really like a cover up, you know, kind of the reason why people wear a mask during the masquerade balls or Halloween. For those that celebrate Halloween, they're wearing a mask to really be someone that they're not. And that's how it is in real life when we are wearing the different masks. Sometimes, I know for me personally, I might have worn the church mask or the happy, content wife mask, but whatever the reason is, it really results in inner conflict that causes us to struggle inside and to deal with the things that are happening at home and at work, because there is no balance in between or between those things. So it really is a misalignment. But only you, the person wearing the mask, can take the mask off. So I wanted to write this book to really try to address the issue because it wasn't really talked about a lot. And I really hadn't heard of or read any books about it. Although after writing my book, I did see that there is literature out there about mask wearing. But at any rate, I wanted to really address it because my purpose was to really help us, first of all, identify and admit that we are wearing a mask when we're wearing a mask. That's the first step. Is to admit that, and I wanted to just take people on the journey, my journey, and how I was owning my own story in a particular period of my life, that I had to address the mask wearing and the multiple masks that I was wearing, to again, admit that I was wearing the mask, and try to deal with and find ways to take the mask off. And then the second thing I had to do was figure out who I was, because I wasn't who I was trying to pretend to be, because I was wearing a mask. I was pretending to be person A, B, C. It depended on the situation. And then I realized one of the things that I needed to do was find out who I really was. I had to discover who I really was, and that led me to my purpose, because until you define and discover who you truly are, you won't be able to find your purpose. And know that it's okay. I wanted readers to know that it's okay. You're not alone. Many people are wearing masks. It is not the end of the world. But again, first you must admit that you're wearing a mask. Learn to take it off. Find ways to find out who you are. Discover who you truly are, so that you can live authentically. And then by no means am I saying that being authentic means you're perfect, because it's not. That is totally impossible. Authenticity is really about being your true self. And I wanted to just reach the audience and help you all understand, help my readers understand my personality, my values, my belief system, my character, my goals, and the things that I believe led me to my true purpose. It took me on a journey of being honest with myself and to acknowledge that I do have limitations and I cannot do it all. So I hope to reach readers. My goal was to reach readers that were struggling in that area, to own their own story, that whatever it is their story, and it is meant to be shared. Everyone has a story inside. So as time permits and God leads you the way, that you will share your story, because it truly is a gift and it truly will be a blessing to others.
Thank you again for being with us, Shellinda, and for sharing your story and connecting it to purpose. As a student of purpose, I would like to wrap up our segment today with a quote found in your book. And the quote reads, "I believe there's a calling for all of us. I know that every human being has value and purpose. The real work of our lives is to become aware and awakened to answer the call." By Oprah Winfrey. To learn more about Meet the Author, I am available at www.drjackieeaves.com.